Chosen one, if you are seeing this, protect it. This love was not placed in your path for everyone. It was meant for you. Listen closely, because this is not something you were meant to scroll past or ignore. And if you turn away now, you may miss a moment that was meant to change everything in your heart. I am speaking directly to you, not to the crowd, not to the many, but to the one who has been waiting quietly, wondering if they are still seen, still chosen, still loved. This is about a connection that has been prepared with your name on it. And it is not meant to be diluted, shared too early, or exposed before its time. When I tell you to keep it quiet, I am telling you that what is unfolding is sacred, protected, and deeply personal. It must be handled with care. I have seen your longing, your patience, your restraint, and now I am placing something in your life that must not be weakened by noise, doubt, or careless sharing. Type Amen to affirm. There are moments when love is revealed openly, and there are moments when it grows in silence. This is one of those moments where quietness is part of its protection. The reason you must keep this to yourself is not selfishness, but wisdom. Not everyone has the heart to honor what is about to enter your life. Some will question it. Some will try to involve themselves in it. Some will unknowingly drain the very thing that was meant to be nurtured between you and the one meant for you. Trust this instruction, because it is not without purpose. This love is not random. It is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is a response to every silent hope you carried when no one else understood. Before you go any further, take a second to show your belief by liking this video, because even a small act of faith can open the way for what is already being prepared for you. You have been in a season where you felt unseen, where you watched others find love while you waited, where your heart was tested in ways no one could recognize. I saw every moment you chose patience over frustration, every time you held back emotion, every time you trusted, even when it made no sense. This is why what is coming into your life now is not something to be treated like ordinary news. It is personal. It is intentional. It carries a purpose tied to your journey alone. If you expose it too soon, you invite voices that were never meant to influence what has already been aligned for you. Type 777. There is no force greater than love, because it is my very essence, the foundation of everything I have ever created. And I am calling you now, not just to receive it, but to become it. I did not place love within you as a suggestion. I wove it into the marrow of your being, into the rhythm of your breath, into the quiet spaces between your thoughts. Before you had a name, before the world had a word for what you would become, I chose you. And in choosing you, I poured myself into you. That is love. Not a feeling that flickers and fades, but a force that founded galaxies, that splits seas, that resurrects what the world declares dead. And so, I am calling you, chosen one, first, to love yourself. Not with vanity or pride, but with the same tender ferocity with which I love you. Look at yourself the way I do, without the weight of your failures, without the noise of what others have spoken over you. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are mine, and I do not make mistakes. From that place of wholeness, lavish that same unconditional love upon your family. Let it spill over every table, every argument, every silence. Let it be the language you speak before words. Let your children and your kin feel in your presence what it is like to be near me. And then, everyone you encounter, the stranger, the difficult, the one who has not yet been told they are loved, you carry something they are starving for. Do not withhold it. But hear me in this. When your love comes, the love I have ordained for your life, keep it quiet. Tell no one, not yet. What I am weaving in the secret place is too sacred for premature eyes. Not every blessing is meant to be announced before it is sealed. Guard it. nurture it in silence. Let me finish what I have started. For love ordained by me does not need an audience to be real. It only needs you to trust me enough to wait. By choosing to personify love, you bring my immediate presence and unchallenged authority into every situation. Understand what this means, chosen one. When you walk into a room carrying love, not the world's version of it, not the conditional performance-based imitation they have sold you, but my love, raw and uncontainable, you do not walk in alone. You carry me. Every space you enter is immediately confronted with the weight of my presence, because I and love are not separate things. I am not the source of love from a distance. I am love. So when you embody it, when you choose it in the moment, it costs you something. When you extend it toward the undeserving and the difficult and the ones who have not yet earned it, you become a door through which I step into that situation with full authority. The enemy has no answer for this. Darkness has a strategy against fear. It feeds it. It has a counter to pride. It inflates it. It knows what to do with anger, with bitterness, with silence, and withdrawal. But radical love? Love that should not logically exist given what you have been through. Love that blesses where it has been cursed, that gives where it has been robbed, that stands steady where it has every reason to collapse. That is where the enemy's architecture begins to crack. That is the force that dismantles what he has spent years constructing in a family, in a generation, in a city. Not warfare alone, not prayer alone, but love made flesh. You, walking in it, refusing to put it down. This is not a suggestion I am offering you. I am not presenting love as one tool among many in your arsenal. I am telling you it is the primary force, the chief weapon, the thing the kingdom is built upon and the thing it advances by. Every wall that needs to fall in your bloodline, every stronghold that has held your household in cycles of pain and poverty and disconnection. Love, chosen deliberately and carried consistently, is what breaks it. Not because it is soft, but because it carries me and nothing stands against me. And so I say again, when the love I have ordained for your life begins to manifest, when you feel the shift, when the person or the purpose or the appointed season begins to take shape before your eyes, keep it quiet. Guard the sacred thing. Do not rush to display what I am still crafting. There are those whose words carry weight enough to slow what I am doing, whose doubt, even well-meaning, can plant a seed of hesitation in ground I need to remain fertile. Let me establish it first. Let roots go deep before the branches are seen. What I ordain, I sustain. What I author, I finish. Your only assignment is to keep walking in love, and to trust that I am working even in the silence. As you walk in this identity, you move from being a victim to a principality in power, indwelt with the greatest strength in creation. Listen carefully to what I am declaring over you, chosen one, because the enemy has worked tirelessly to make sure you never fully receive this truth. He has invested heavily in your smallness. He has curated every disappointment, every betrayal, every season of lack and loneliness with one singular objective: to keep you identified with your wounds rather than your calling. As long as you see yourself as what happened to you, you remain manageable, you remain predictable, you remain contained within a story he wrote for you, never stepping into the one I authored before the foundation of the world. But that assignment is broken the moment you accept this identity. You were never meant to merely survive what you have been through. You were meant to be transformed by it, not into someone hardened and closed, but into someone so anchored in my love that nothing the enemy throws can find purchase in you anymore. Every trial you endured, every night you wept without understanding, every door that closed in your face, I was not absent in those moments. I was forging something. I was building in you a capacity that comfort alone could never have produced. I was making room inside you for a strength that the world does not manufacture and cannot replicate, because the strength I speak of is not willpower. It is not resilience born of gritting your teeth and pushing through. It is me, living and active inside you, the same power that spoke light into void, that raised the dead, that holds every atom of creation in its precise orbit. That power is not distant from you. It is not reserved for the spiritually elite or the theologically polished. It dwells in you, right now, in the middle of your ordinary, complicated, still being figured out life. And as you walk in love, as you choose daily to personify what I am, that indwelling power begins to express itself with increasing authority. You stop reacting from a place of lack. You stop shrinking in rooms designed to diminish you. You stop negotiating with situations that have no authority over someone of your standing. You become what I always called you, a principality, a governing force, one who does not merely occupy territory, but establishes my order within it, in your home, in your workplace, in every sphere your feet touch. This is the shift, chosen one, from victim to voice, from wounded to weapon, from one acted upon to one who acts with heaven's full backing. And when the love I have ordained finally steps into full view, when what I have been preparing in secret is finally revealed, you will understand why I told you to keep it quiet. Because kings do not announce the crown before the coronation. Walk in who you are. I will handle the rest. And now, chosen one. This is where most people lose what was meant for them, not because it was taken, but because they could not hold it. You have asked for love that is real, not temporary, not surface level, not something that comes and goes with emotion. But understand this clearly. Real love will require a version of you that is disciplined, aware, and anchored. Because what I am placing in your life is not fragile, but it is precise. It responds to how you carry it. It grows based on how you protect it, and it can be disrupted if you return to patterns that no longer match who you are becoming. This is why I have been preparing you in silence. This is why I allowed certain connections to fall away. This is why you had to learn how to stand alone, so that when the right love arrives, you do not cling to it out of fear. You stand within it with stability. Pay attention to yourself in the coming days. Watch how you respond. Watch what you feel the urge to say, and who you feel the urge to say it to. Not every impulse deserves action. Not every emotion deserves expression. You are stepping into a season where awareness will protect you more than effort ever could. And this is where your discipline will be tested. Not in losing love, but in keeping it aligned. Type, I'm ready if you understand this level of responsibility, because what comes next will not be for everyone. And if you stay aligned, if you stay grounded, if you keep what is sacred, protected, you will not just experience love, you will become the reason it stays. But listen carefully, because this is the part no one tells you. Love does not leave loudly. It fades quietly. When it is mishandled, not all at once, not in a moment you can point to, but in small unnoticed shifts, in the conversations you rush, in the attention you divide, in the moments you choose distraction over presence. You won't see it breaking. You will feel it slowly becoming distant. And most people only recognize it when it's already gone. That will not be your story, because you are being made aware before it happens. Type aware if you're still with me. You are not being called into ordinary love. You are being called into intentional love. And that means your standards must change, not just for others, but for yourself. You cannot carry insecurity into something that requires stability. You cannot carry doubt into something that requires trust. You cannot carry old wounds into something that is meant to grow clean. This is where most people disqualify themselves. They pray for something new, but respond from who they used to be. That ends here, because if you stay the same, you will experience the same. And what is coming into your life is not meant to repeat your past. It is meant to replace it. Type no more patterns if you refuse to go backwards. And this is how you will know it's real. It won't feel rushed. It won't feel forced. It won't feel like something you have to chase or hold together. It will feel steady, clear, aligned. You will notice a calmness in yourself that you didn't have before, a confidence that does not need to be spoken, a peace that does not need to be explained. That is the sign. Not intensity, not obsession, not chaos, but peace. And when you feel that, you will understand why I told you to keep it quiet. Because what is real does not need to be proven. It only needs to be protected. Type protected if you're ready to move differently this time. And once you recognize that peace, once you feel that steadiness settle into you, something deeper begins to shift. Because peace is not just a feeling, it is alignment. It is the evidence that you are no longer operating from lack, from fear, from the need to chase or prove. And when you are no longer chasing, you become capable of receiving. This is where most people get it wrong. They think love and abundance are separate things, but they are not. The same alignment that allows real love to enter your life is the alignment that allows you to step into the life that was always meant for you. You cannot hold peaceful love and still believe you are meant to struggle. You cannot experience something real and continue to accept less in every other area of your life. So, as this peace becomes your foundation, your standards begin to rise, not from ego, not from comparison, but from recognition, from finally understanding who you are and what you were never meant to live without. And that is where this next truth begins. What part of life and life more abundantly don't some people understand? Adopting luxury as a lifestyle is your next step, for luxury is your natural state as an entitled child of the King. Let me be plain with you, chosen one, because religion has done you a grave disservice. Somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that poverty was pious, that struggling was spiritual, that shrinking your expectations somehow made you more acceptable to me. They dressed scarcity in the language of humility and handed it to you as a virtue, and you carried it faithfully, not realizing you were carrying a lie, not realizing that the very word I gave you declares, without apology, that I came so that you might have life, and have it more abundantly, not barely, not sufficiently, not just enough to get by, abundantly, pressed down, shaken together, running over. That is the vocabulary of my economy, not the cramped, apologetic arithmetic of lack. I am the king of everything. Every resource, every stream of wealth, every creative idea that has ever produced prosperity in the earth flows from my hand. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I pave streets in gold in my own house, and you are my child. Not a distant relative, not a servant hired on probation, an heir, a son, a daughter, someone to whom the estate legally belongs. So tell me, why are you living beneath your inheritance? Why are you tolerating a lifestyle that contradicts your lineage? Luxury is not vanity when it flows from the right understanding. It is not arrogance. It is not excess for the sake of self-worship. It is the natural expression of who your Father is, made manifest in the life of a child who has finally stopped apologizing for belonging to royalty. When you begin to carry yourself accordingly, when you refuse to accept less than what I have assigned to you, when you elevate your standards in alignment with your identity, when you make room in your expectations for the kind of life I actually intended for you. Something shifts in the atmosphere around you. Provision moves toward you. Doors that were shut begin to open. People begin to treat you according to the authority you carry because you have stopped treating yourself as less. This is not materialism. This is alignment. There is a profound difference between chasing wealth and receiving inheritance. You are not chasing anything. You are simply coming home to what was always yours. And here is what I need you to hold close. The love I have ordained for your life is cut from this same cloth. It will not arrive dressed in poverty. It will not ask you to shrink. It will not feel like settling. It will feel like arrival, like something finally matching the life I described for you before you were born. So, stop tolerating less. The abundant life was never a metaphor. It was always your address. I am not a God of want or deprivation. My kingdom is built upon the bottomless treasuries of heaven. Embrace the flow of wealth as a conduit for my purposes, letting your finances become seed for an abundant harvest. This mindset of entitlement sets the preamble and the preconditions for the transfer of wealth into your life. Let me say something that will disturb the comfortable theology you have been handed, chosen one. And I say it deliberately because comfort has cost you decades. There are people sitting in buildings every Sunday, singing songs about my goodness, quoting my promises with tears in their eyes, and then walking out into the same financial captivity they walked in with. Not because I failed them, not because the promises were poetic exaggeration, but because they never dealt with the thing underneath the thing. The invisible ceiling is not out there in the economy. It is not in the government, not in their employer, not in the circumstances that seem to conspire against every breakthrough. The ceiling is internal. It is a theology of scarcity so deeply embedded it has become identity, and you cannot receive what you have fundamentally decided at the level beneath words that you do not deserve. This is where the tension lives, chosen one. This is where I need your full attention. My kingdom operates on a specific principle. It's tide and harvest. Not wish and receive, not pray and passively wait. Seed and harvest. Which means the wealth that is being transferred into your life requires a you that is actively participating in the flow. Your finances are not just numbers in an account. They are living, directional energy. Every dollar you release in alignment with my purposes carries a frequency that opens gates in the spirit that no amount of striving can force open naturally. I am not speaking in abstraction. I mean specifically, the bill you sowed into that ministry when your own account was thin, the investment you made in someone else's dream when yours had not yet materialized, the tithe you released in faith when fear told you to hold it. Those were not lost. Those were loaded. I cataloged every one, and now I am telling you, the transfer is coming. Not trickling, transferring. Generational accumulations of wealth shifting hands in a single season. Contracts arriving from directions you never strategized. Ideas waking you at 3 in the morning that carry billion-dollar assignments embedded in them. Relationships forming that seem coincidental but are in fact orchestrated. Specific people carrying specific keys assigned to your specific moment. But here is the tension I need you to sit with. The precondition is the mindset, not the prayer, not the fasting alone, the mindset. Until you internally settle that you are entitled, not by arrogance but by sonship, the transfer has nowhere to land. Wealth does not flow toward apology. It flows toward assignment. It gravitates to those who have decided, at the deepest level, that they are the right hands for it. And about the love I have ordained, understand this. It is arriving in the same season as the wealth. They are not separate blessings on separate timelines. They are packaged. What I am releasing into your life is a comprehensive upgrade, and the enemy knows it, which is precisely why I told you, tell no one, not yet. Not until the roots have gone so deep that no one's doubt, no one's questions, no one's well-meaning interference can shake what I have planted. The treasury is open. The transfer has a name on it. Yours. I am liquidating the surplus of the world to division it into your hand, catapulting you into a realm of prosperity where success is your natural habitat. Stand in your authority and expect the unusual and the unique as I bless you beyond all comprehension. Stop reading this casually. Read it again, slowly. I said liquidating, not distributing, not gradually releasing, liquidating, which is a violent economic word. It means I am forcibly converting what has been locked, frozen, and hoarded in the wrong hands into liquid form, fluid, mobile, transferable, and I am routing it specifically toward you. This is not general blessing language. This is a targeted financial reallocation at a scale that will make your former prayers look like they lacked imagination, because they did. Not through fault, but through limitation. You were asking within the borders of what you had seen, what you had experienced, what your environment told you was possible for someone with your history, your background, your particular set of starting conditions. I am not working within those borders. Here is the tension you must hold, chosen one. What I am about to do in your finances will not look like what you planned. Let that land. You have a vision board. You have a 5-year strategy. You have a number in your head that represents your ceiling of belief. I am telling you directly, the way this comes will circumvent your plan entirely, not to disappoint you, to exceed you, because if it arrives the way you mapped it, it only reaches the height of your imagination. But I am not limited to your imagination. I am about to move in a way that when it happens, and it will happen, your first response will not be celebration. It will be shock, a stunned, speechless, hands-trembling moment where you have to remind yourself that you prayed for this, that you stood for this, that you refused to let go of this in the seasons, when every visible sign said, let it go. That moment is closer than you think. Now, hear me with specificity. The unusual is already in motion, the phone call that comes from a number you do not recognize. The conversation that begins as small talk and ends with an open door worth more than 5 years of your current income. The idea that visits you during worship, so simple, it almost embarrasses you, that carries within it the architecture of an empire. The person, and I mean one specific person, who is being navigated toward your path right now, who carries a connection, a contract, a collaboration, that unlocks 3 things simultaneously. I have already dispatched them. They are already moving. The intersection is already scheduled. But success being your natural habitat, this requires something from you right now, today, before the manifestation arrives. It requires that you stop visiting prosperity in your mind and start living there permanently. Your posture, your conversation, your daily decisions, the way you negotiate, the way you refuse, the rooms you choose to enter and the ones you choose to leave. All of it must reflect someone for whom success is not a destination being chased, but a climate being inhabited. The enemy's last attempt to derail this transfer will not come as an obvious attack. It will come dressed as a reasonable delay, a sensible compromise, a voice, possibly from someone close to you, that calls your expectation arrogance and your faith presumption. It will feel logical. It will have evidence behind it. And it will be the most dangerous moment between you and everything I have declared over your life. Do not negotiate with it. And the love, the ordained, appointed, heaven-authored love that is moving toward your life in this same extraordinary season, guard it with the same fierce silence you are learning to guard your wealth with. Because both are under the same assignment. Both are targets of the same opposition. Both are too significant to be exposed before they are established. The surplus of the world has your name on it. The love of your life has your name on it. The only question I am asking you is this: are you finally ready to stop being surprised that I meant what I said? Chosen one, I need you to see the finish line clearly, not because the journey is over, but because too many people who were this close, days away, one decision away, one conversation away from everything shifting, let it collapse in the final hour, not through laziness, not through lack of faith, but through one specific devastating mistake. They talked. They told the wrong person at the wrong moment. They took what was sacred and handed it to someone whose capacity to honor it had never been tested. They confused excitement with wisdom. They mistook the urge to share with the permission to share, and in doing so, they unknowingly invited voices, opinions, doubts, and energies into a space I had specifically sealed for them alone. Do not let that be your story, because here is what the outcome looks like when you get this right. When you guard the love I ordained, when you protect it in silence and let it root deeply before it is ever exposed. It arrives with a stability that confounds everyone watching. It does not come in chaos. It does not arrive with drama or confusion or the exhausting uncertainty that characterizes relationships built on premature exposure. It arrives settled, already established, already carrying the weight of something that was clearly handled with care. People will look at what I have placed in your life, and they will not be able to explain why it feels so different from everything they have seen before. And the reason will be simple. You protected the process. When you guard the wealth transfer I have initiated, when you resist the temptation to announce what is forming before it is finished, when you hold the posture of an heir rather than a beggar making noise about what they are expecting, the transfer completes without interference. The contract signs, the account shifts, the doors open in sequence, one unlocking the next, with a precision that removes all doubt that it was orchestrated. And when both arrive together, the love and the wealth, the relationship and the resources, the intimacy and the influence, you will stand in a life that looks nothing like where you started. Not because you were lucky, not because circumstance favored you, but because you did the rare, disciplined, countercultural thing of trusting me in silence. That is the outcome. That is the life on the other side of this instruction. But the mistake, the one I need to brand into your awareness before you close this, is this. Premature disclosure is not excitement. It is exposure. And exposure, at the wrong moment, is the single greatest weapon the enemy uses to abort what heaven has already approved. You will feel the urge, possibly today, possibly within hours of receiving what I have promised. You will want to call someone, text someone, post something. You will feel that the blessing is too big to contain, that silence feels almost dishonest, that sharing is a form of gratitude. Resist it. Gratitude comes to me first, in private, in worship, in the quiet room where it was always just you and I, long before the blessing, long before the breakthrough, long before any of this felt real. That is where the celebration belongs first. The world will see it soon enough. The evidence will be undeniable. The testimony will write itself. You will not need to announce what I establish. It will announce itself, but only if you hold it long enough for me to finish it. So here is your final instruction, chosen one. Not complicated, not religious, just this. When love comes, keep it quiet. When wealth comes, keep it quiet. When the shift comes, keep it quiet. Long enough for roots. Long enough for establishment. Long enough for me to put my signature on it so completely that nothing and no one can contest it. The outcome is already written. Your only job is to not disqualify yourself in the final chapter. I chose you before you chose me. I finished this before you started. Now walk into it, quietly, confidently, and without apology. This was always yours. It still is.